Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I'm glad you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now I'd like to start this session as usual by appreciating you so much for making this channel grow. So if you'd like to support us, please just hit the subscribe button and then you can hit the like button. So we want to start this analysis by sharing a tweet that MUTAHI NGUNYI posted in reference to Rigathi Gachagua. This tweet, before I read it, I'd like to say something about it. This tweet is a bit timely, and the content of that tweet and the messages which were being conveyed during the town hall meeting in Murang'a County seems to correlate. Allow me first of all to read to you this tweet before we get to certain sentiments which were echoed in that Murang'a town hall meeting. So this is what MUTAHI NGUNYI said. Gachagua has the heart of a lion, the brain of an ox, and the mouth of a parrot. Dear Ruto, Gachagua is a young bull with green horns. A young bull, his hormones are pumping like a disco. He will destroy you, or are you deliberately destroying him? I saw someone respond to this tweet somewhere, but that particular Twitter respondent treated this tweet literally. He didn't dig deep into the content of this tweet. There is something that MUTAHI NGUNYI is communicating to with William Samoei Ruto. First, MUTAHI NGUNYI tells Ruto, Dear Ruto, Gachagua is a young bull with green horns. That in itself means a lot. Let's go to matters of politics. Gachagua could be a newbie to issues of politics. Remember, Gachagua became a Mathira MP for the first term, I think the first 2 terms. Then the second time, he became a deputy president. So Rigathi Gachagua has a lot to learn in matters of politics. You see, initially he was into administration. That was the time when he was still a DO within Moi's government. So what MUTAHI NGUNYI is literally trying to tell Ruto ni kwamba Gachagua bado ni mtoto politically. Then he goes further and says, as a young bull, his hormones are pumping like a disco. That in itself means the fact that Rigathi Gachagua bado ndio mgeni katika hii matters of politics, ana morali ya kufanya kila kitu, and in the midst of trying to do everything, that is the time he blunders. So it goes further and says, he will destroy you, or are you deliberately destroying him? This is why it gets interesting. He will destroy you, or are you deliberately destroying him? I tend to agree with MUTAHI NGUNYI here when he says he will destroy you. Because it's either Rigathi Gachagua anamharibia Ruto, ama Ruto is deliberately destroying Rigathi Gachagua. I agree with the second part where, or are you deliberately destroying him? Most of the time that we see Rigathi Gachagua make comments zake unapata most of the time William Ruto makes decisions which are contrary to what Rigathi Gachagua says most of the time. I remember, in fact, when William Ruto talked about issue of wanting to, talk to Raila Amolo Odinga, Gachagua didn't like it. Gachagua talked ill about that move, but William Ruto ended up pouring cold water on that move. So that's why we find that in this analysis, I want us to break down Ngunyi's reference of Gachagua, and in specific reference to when he talks to Gachagua as the heart of a lion, having the brain of an ox, and the mouth of a parrot. So this analysis, we would like to talk about that part where it gives Gachagua those kind of references of lion, ox, and parrot. So before we talk about those references, please just take a moment and subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed before. Once again, I'd like to urge you to also don't forget to hit the notification bell, because every time we upload any video, you will always become the first person to get notified. So let's get into this analysis. We said we want to break down Ngunyi's reference of Gachagua. When it says Gachagua, refers to Gachagua as a lion, ox, and a parrot. We might not talk about an ox, but we know very well that lion The heart of a lion, symbolizes a person of exceptional courage and bravery. Lions are symbols of courage, and to have a heart of a lion is to be devoted to a lifestyle of mental, physical, and emotional courage. That's the truth of having the heart of a lion. We'll skip the part of brain of an ox, but then we'll delve into that part where Mutahi Ngunyi says Gachagua has the mouth of a parrot. What is this? What do you understand by a parrot? What does a parrot do? A parrot, from the word parrot, parroting to parrot ni kuongea tu ovyo ovyo, kusema bla 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 nyingi. So what Mutahi Ngunyi is trying to refer to Gachagua about is trying to tell Ruto kwamba Gachagua ni kama parrot. He will talk about literally everything and anything. I want to bring you an example of a rally in Murang'a County, where at the town hall meeting, which was not supposed to take place, but it took place because the police had cancelled it, but the leadership went ahead and held that meeting. So some of the sentiments in that rally, in that meeting, ilionyesha kwamba in fact, everybody who rose there talked about Gachagua. Everybody blamed Gachagua. 80% of the people of the blames there were leveled on Gachagua. There had to be a reason why Gachagua was being blamed. I remember Mwangi wa Iria say that Gachagua anajaribu create a tribal war so that ionekane kuna tribal war between Luos and the Kikuyus. That's what he said in the previous analysis which I shared.
Hii jiri inahubiliwa hapa na sana sana na Gachagua ya uhasama. Huyu ni mzee wa kuita mwenda wazimu kweli? Si ni kama babu yako? Si ni kama baba yako? Na unamuita hiyo majina kwa nini? Wewe una babu yako nyumbani, si ndio?
That Gachagua anajaribu create an enmity between communities. And Wairere went on extent of saying that Uhuru alifanya ile plan ya kuhakikisha kwamba Luos and Kikuyus are one thing. He succeeded in that. But Gachagua is trying to erode that gain so that ile enmity irudi pale ilikuwa, which is why all the people rose in that meeting talked ill of Gachagua. That was the reason. So let's get back to this issue of mouth of a parrot. That Gachagua has a mouth of a parrot. That's what Mutahi Ngunyi has referred to Gachagua as. Of course, we all know, like I said, that parrot ana ile tendency of kupiga kelele, kuongea kupiga anyhowly without a formula. So Gachagua also has that tendency of talking anyhowly without a formula. That's why you remember there's a time he talked about hii issue ya shareholding. This issue of shareholding imemsumbua sana, imesumbua the Ruto government. I think this is some of the things that Gachagua Ruto is being advised to be watchful or to be careful about Gachagua's remarks. Or maybe is he letting Gachagua make those mistakes so that in 2027 he will be kicked out completely? Because unajua inawezekana, by the way, kwamba 2027 Gachagua will be kicked out completely, because that is one of the plan of William Samoei Ruto. I think that's the plan, because if that narrative of Mutavadi kwamba atafanya na Ruto ni ukweli, basi kwamba Gachagua ana chake. Na I think that explains why Gachagua ana wasiwasi nyingi, wasiwasi kila mahali, wasiwasi huku, wasiwasi kule. Hizi zote ni kwamba yeye anataka kwamba Ruto amsikize yeye na yeye peke yake na asisikize Mudavadi. That's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. So kindly tell us what you think about this regarding Mutahi Ngunyi's tweet. And if you forgot about the tweet, let me read it again. This is what Mutahi Ngunyi said. Gachagua has the heart of a lion, the brain of an ox, and the mouth of a parrot. Dear Ruto, Gachagua is a young bull with green horns. A young bull is almost pumping like a disco. He will destroy you, or are you deliberately destroying him? That is a tweet that Mutahi Ngunyi posted, and it's a tweet that formed the basis of our analysis. So ladies and gentlemen, give us your feedback, and once again I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.